To sum up, I'd like to run down the main points behind the whole idea of the campaign. First, we ask you to give only once a year. Every single agency in the campaign asks just this once. Second, because of the efficiency of the campaign, we have the lowest possible administrative costs. Third, this is the one campaign that's supported by everyone. Labor, management, everyone. Fourth, this is a volunteer effort. Now, we all have to pitch in. We can't depend on the other guy or the government.
Volunteer, like in the Army. You, KP.
Well, I guess that's it. Now, each of you have got your pledge cards. I hope everybody here will check off the box for his fair share.
Who's he trying to kid? It's my paycheck, not his. When I give what I want, when I want, and to who I want.
Are there any questions or comments?
Yeah, I got a question. Now, you say our money goes to all these people in all these different places. But how do we know who it goes to? Well, look, I believe in charity, all right. But I want to know that it's going to somebody that needs it, not to somebody who's just looking for a handout.
The United Way campaign is very strict about that. Each of these agencies have to meet rigid standards. Yes? You have another question?
No, I don't have a question, but...
Well, look, George, we've only got a few minutes left. We've got to get these pledge cards signed.
Right. I have something I'd like to say that I think is important, if I can have just a minute. I can understand how Mr. Curtis feels. I think a lot of us probably feel the same way, that maybe the United Way is just another one of those big, faceless organizations for people who want a handout. I know that's the way I felt until something happened that changed my mind. A couple of years before I came to work here, I was doing pretty good. I had a good job, and my family was fine, and a lot of friends. Everything was great, and then my world fell apart. My wife died and left me with our two boys. I never really found out what it was. We went to one doctor after another, and at the end there was an operation, special nurses. And my savings were wiped out. The worst thing was the way the kids took it. Timmy, will you eat your oatmeal, please? Now, I don't want to tell you again. Timmy went wild. He wouldn't listen to anyone. Come on, John. Oh, come on, John. One more. Little John became withdrawn, just stopped talking. He needed special help. Help that I couldn't afford. Now you eat some oatmeal, please. I found a woman to come in and take care of the kids and clean up a bit, but it wasn't working. Eat some oatmeal, please.
I'm sorry I'm late.
That's all right, Miss Shipley. Miss Shipley, I left all the laundry in the hamper. Will you take it to the laundromat, please? Also, I left some money up on top of the icebox. I promised Timmy a new baseball bat. Timmy wet his bed again last night. It's all right. I took the sheets off, put them in the hamper. Put some clean sheets on the bed, and I'll be a little late. I have to see the foreman tonight, but wait for me, will you?
That's it.
What?
I've had it.
What?
Look, Mr. Denham, find yourself another housekeeper.
What did I do?
You didn't do anything. I just can't stand to see what's going on here. These children need more help than what I can give them.
I know that, Mrs. Shipley. What am I going to do?
I don't know. I can't help you anymore. Get someone else.
Who?
Well, what about your brother and his wife? Can't they take them in for a while?
I'll try.
Daddy, wait. Wait a minute, Daddy. I want to stay here with you. I want to go to Aunt Betty's house. I hate it there. I want to stay here. Daddy, if I'm extra good, will Mommy come back to us?
Tough as things were, I figured somehow it would work out. But then the crusher came. 6 years on the job, then out of the blue, I got laid off. They said it was a production cutback, nothing personal. All the same, I was out and finished.
Hey, any of you guys gonna join the bowling league this year?
I might.
I hear Metallic Alloy is going to put out a great team this year.
I never realized how hard it was to talk to somebody about what was really important. I wanted to talk about my kids, about my wife, about getting canned, but I couldn't do it. These were my buddies. Good guys, but they were all wrapped up in their own worlds and their own problems, and they didn't want to take on mine as well.
I'll see you around, boss.
Hey, George, wait a minute. Here's that 20 I borrowed last Christmas. Sorry I forgot about it. I guess it'll come in handy, yeah?
Keep in touch, will you, George?
Yeah, so long, George.
I guess that $20 was the clincher. Art had never borrowed that dough from me. He was just feeling sorry for me. It was plain and simple, a handout, charity. I just couldn't take it anymore. I began drinking heavily, and I kept going downhill. But I guess there's an instinct for self-preservation that surfaces when you least expect it. Somehow I remembered the United Way. I knew I'd given my fair share to it, and I knew they were supposed to help all kinds of people, so I figured, why not me? I called up, and they arranged for me to see a family counselor. They got Johnny into a special clinic for children with emotional problems, and they found a really good daycare center for Timmy. Okay, so now we're down to bedrock. We're being asked to sign up to pledge our fair share. A lot of you maybe still haven't made up your minds. You're not sure. You figure, well, what happened to George can't happen to me, and I hope you're right. I hope it doesn't happen to any of you, but is there anyone in this room who really feels they are immune to misfortune or, God forbid, tragedy? Jose had an accident a couple of weeks ago, and he got away with a few scratches, and he was lucky. But not everybody's lucky. Mary just had a healthy baby, but not all mothers are that fortunate. And some of you have teenage children. Where do you turn if they get involved in dope? But even if you forget about what the United Way does for any one of us, I think we ought to remember that the United Way is an idea. It's a spirit, and it may sound corny, but the United Way is really the American way. Our country was built on people helping each other. And if there was a fire or a flood, there was no government that said you had to do this. People just helped each other. And a lot of us have gone away from that. And some of us are turning our backs on it. We're too busy in our own little lives. I think the United Way is for people who don't want to turn their backs and who want to reach out and help someone else. And that makes a difference between living in a community or just a place to live. The United Way is not only helping yourself, but it's helping your family, it's helping your friends, and it's helping your fellow man. And that's why I'm going to sign.
Thanks, George.
like to step out of my role as George Denham now and speak to you as Cliff Robertson. In making this movie, I came to realize that George Denham stands for a great many very real people. You could change the details, but it wouldn't make any difference. The United Way would still be there. George could have been helped by the Red Cross or the Salvation Army, or he might have turned to scouting or the WISE. The list of programs to help people is endless. They're all in the literature you've been given. Study the list carefully, and you'll see why your gift, this one time, each year, to the United Way, is needed. I urge you to sign your pledge card now and give your fair share. Thanks to you, it's working. The United Way.